Hi guys, today we will talk about parenting challenges. With time, it is becoming increasingly difficult to manage a full-time job of a parent as well as a professional. So today we have Liza, and she will help us, go through few things that new parents, find it difficult to manage their life and their job and their work, and steps to overcome it, right? So, Lisa, what are the major concerns that you get from a parent?
We get concerns of different varieties. Like, for example, a new parent would have concerns, like they would have apprehensions about whether they are able to do a good job as a parent and fulfill their parental responsibilities. Then, parents of infants would have concerns like inculcating moral values, temper tantrums, separation anxiety. Then in teenage years, a lot of parents would come with concerns like communication gap with their child.
Okay.
Right? And also a lot of parents feel overwhelmed, especially if they're working parents or a single parent who has to juggle between the various responsibilities in their life. So they might feel overwhelmed, and sometimes they even feel guilty that they're not able to give their 100% to various domains of their life.
So there are various concerns related to a children's age and also the phase that they are in, right?
Yes.
So tell me, Liza, we all have someone who has been a parent. Like a new parent would have a grandparent to look up to, their own parents. Even a friend, who might be a parent themselves.
Right.
So why not approach their friend circle, their family circle, and why would they approach a life coach?
And that's a very good question, because usually we do tend to approach our family members or our friends who have been parents so that we can seek advice from them regarding the challenges that we are facing. But we also tend to forget one fact, that every individual is different, right? And there are researchers that say that if an individual is undergoing any form of stress or their own emotional needs are unmet, then they are not able to be responsive to their child's emotional needs. And these stresses can be due to various reasons, like it could be work pressure, it could be a conflict with their family member or their spouse, right? And it's not necessary that they might always be able to approach their family members or open up and share with them. So that's where a life coach comes into the picture, who provides a safe space, a judgment-free zone where they can talk about their concerns without feeling this fear of being judged. Or also, secondly, as you mentioned, every individual being different will have their own different parenting styles, and every child is also different and will have their own unique personality traits and the concerns that they have.
Right.
So, if for example I am a parent who seeks my mother-in-law's advice or my mother's advice regarding how to deal with my child's temper tantrums, my mother-in-law and mother would tell the way they had dealt with those temper tantrums, or those communication gap or any other concern. But it's not necessary that it might work for my child.
Right.
We have all these apprehensions regarding whether I'm doing a good job, how to take care of my baby. So I might also have a barrier in reaching out to my mom, my grandmother, my mother-in-law, because I might feel that they are correcting me, they're telling me certain things that I did not know. So in some ways I might have this restriction that they are judging me based on my parental capabilities.
Right.
So these things could be some of the concerns that a parent goes through, where a life coach can help them identify their parenting styles, identify the concerns, the unique sets of personality traits, the concerns that the child might be facing, and help to resolve them.
Okay. Parenting styles, unique people that we are as parents, our child's unique demands,
right,
and unique personality,
yes,
right, and also new set of challenges that new parents would face, rather than the parents of the previous generations.
Yeah, like
Where,
social media usage.
Right. So, according to recent statistics, 74% of parents find parenting as a job more challenging than the previous generation. It could be because of both of the partners are now working. They find it difficult to manage work and home, right? So what are basically the challenges that these new parents go through who are working as professionals, like both of them?
So as you rightly said that now a parent, like most of the families would have both the individuals as working professionals, and they have to juggle between the responsibility of themselves as working professionals and as parents, and also spend time personally and as a couple. So these are various things that they have to juggle, and that's like a lot on a plate for one individual, right? So some of the challenges that a working professional and a parent would face is no personal time, because when they have to balance between various responsibilities and demands of their life, it actually leaves a very little space and time for them to pursue their own personal hobbies, interests, passions. Second is lack of quality time with their spouse, so no couple time, because both the partners are working. So what tends to happen, a common family scenario would be that both the individuals come back from work, and now they have to start with their dinner preparations. They would have to help their child with their homework assignments, right? So they are not able to discuss and talk about how their day went, what are the challenges that they faced. So a lot of the couples are facing this difficulty increasingly, that they're not able to spend quality time with their spouse. Right? Apart from that, sleep disturbances, especially when there is a child, like in the infant stage, or if there are more than one children, a lot of the parents would have multiple things that might keep them awake at night. So it could be work responsibilities, pressures at work, a late PPT that they have to submit for the next day. It could be an unwell child that they have to tend and care for. So due to this, their whole sleep cycle gets disturbed, and they're not able to fulfill this. And lastly would be productivity at work. Now, because they are facing so many stresses, right? So because of that, what tends to happen is that their productivity at work also gets diminished. It gets lower, because when they are at work, they might be thinking about the conflict that their daughters had, or they might be thinking about the remarks that their son's teacher made, and that kind of prohibits them from giving their 100% to the various domains of life.
So there's a lot of spillover.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So what are the things that a new parent or someone going through a challenge can do to overcome it and just manage it well?
Yeah. So just like we talked about right now, that there's a lot of spillover. Like when we are at work, we're thinking about probably responsibilities as a couple, responsibilities of our child. When we are at work with our child during night time, during bedtime, we might be thinking about all the work that is still left pending for tomorrow, right? So it is very important that we compartmentalize our time. That when we are at if we are at work, we only focus on work. If we are with our spouse, we only focus on our spouse. Give quality time to our spouse. If we are with our child, then we only spend time with them and be in the moment with them, rather than thinking of other things. So compartmentalizing would mean that every day you make certain rituals. For example, if you are coming back from home, try not to take work back home, right? And also, when you're coming back from home, it would be best that there is some mediating time wherein you spend some time alone, rejuvenating yourself, so that all the stresses at work do not, transition into various frustrations or stresses that might be redirected as anger onto your spouse or onto your child, because that tends to happen a lot of the times. And it happens naturally, because we are not able to restrict ourselves that after work, now this is only my time for my family or myself. So that would be one, compartmentalizing. Second, seeking help from a family member or a friend. For example, in your day-to-day life, what you could do is that if you want to spend time as a couple, go for a date night. What you could do is that you could ask a friend or a family member to babysit your child. Okay. Right? Or thirdly, you could involve the whole family in household responsibilities, because when one partner is doing everything, managing everything, work, home, child, so it becomes very overwhelming and hassle for them. So few steps could be taken, small steps every day, like involving your child in making the grocery list or going out shopping with your family. So that would give you time to spend as a family, and that will also fulfill those household chores, right? Thirdly would be to whenever you're making promises to your child, a lot of parents what they tend to do is that they discount it when they're not able to make it to their child's practice,
Yeah.
go to their place, right? Because we have a lot of work responsibilities, we have a lot of things to do.
Mm-hmm.
What we forget here is that our child notices all that,
Mm-hmm.
and it does tend to have an impact on the equation that we share with them.
Right.
So it's very important that if we make a promise, we try to stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We do abide by those promises, and if we're not able to fulfill those promises, then we sit down and make our child understand what happened, rather than just discounting it and because then what tends to happen is that over time these small incidents would shape the equation, the bond that we share with our child. So it's very important to keep that in mind as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly would be that take out holidays, take out weekends to only recharge your batteries,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a small step could be that instead of making a meal at home, like from breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Mhm.
go out with your family
Yeah.
so that you can spend time outside, you can spend quality time with your spouse, you can spend
Mhm.
quality time with your child. Also take out some personal space, if it is to read a book, if it is to have a cup of coffee with your friend,
Mm-hmm.
anything that you like. It is important because a lot of the times people do not take care of themselves when they're tending to various other responsibilities. Why is it important? Because if we do not take care of ourselves, if we do not give ourselves that space and time, we would not be able to fully be 100% be there with our child, with our spouse, and take care of them. Because before being a professional, before being a spouse, before being a parent, we are individuals,
Yeah.
right? So it's very important that we keep all these in mind. And I know that all this is easier said than done, right? But it is small steps that we take every day that makes a larger impact later on
Yeah.
in the equation that we share.
So there are a lot of things that we can do to overcome it. One is, as you said, compartmentalize your
Yeah.
life, your day, maybe.
Hmm.
See what works for you. Second would be involve your children in your life, in their household activity,
Yeah,
where
household.
they feel more involved, and at the same time you get some time for yourself, right?
Yes.
Go out on vacation, take a break just to recharge,
Mm.
and self-care is very important.
Yeah.
Thank you, Liza, for those wonderful insights.
Hmm.
So, in our next session and in our coming sessions, probably we'll cover how couple dynamics, how communication gap between parents and a parent and a child and the spouses can create an impact on children, and also social media usage. How can we combat this social media usage among our children? So, thank you guys. Stay tuned in. If you want help, if you want assistance, you can call a life coach on 9266 26435 or log on to our website www.betterlife.com. Thank you.